the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup. You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. or on YouTube, channel RJAM News.
On yet? Stand by. That's it. All right. So happy Valentine's, everybody. It's the love month and everybody could use a lot of loving, right? Because I sure can. Even if it's just 1 second of love. I was going to say, if ever you are, just go rush and hoard those chocolates and roses, right? For your objet d'amour. All right. But if that's you, you can just munch on those chocolates instead, right? Right. But you know what? A rose is really, and chocolates just enough. All right. So anyway, if you ask me, being married, let me just stress that you have to be married. Breakfast in bed sounds really, really nice. Or is there something really better out there? Because if you ask me, I would rather travel. So if my husband surprised me with with a trip to Korea for 10 days, right? That would be, to me, even better and so romantic and even more romantic. And then if he also surprised me that you are going to go on a road trip from Seoul to Incheon to Busan to Guangdong and fly off to Jeju Island, that would be it. That really will seal the deal. There's no deal breaker there, so to speak, diba? So anyway, I could settle if Korea is not available. I could settle for a Boracay trip in front of in a beachfront hotel. That's my probably in the Philippines, the only favorite place that favorite place for me and also my family. I don't think my family's gone to any place except this and maybe Baguio. But I don't want to go there. But anyway, so welcome. First, right, before we fly off to Korea or Boracay, I'd like to welcome you first to Good, Great, Unstoppable, the Francine de las Alas Show. And I am your host, DJ Chin, and you can we are live streaming here from DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Ayan, diba? So let me just fix this because nalilito na ako because right now while I speak to you, I am also attending a training that we missed because of the speaker got COVID during her scheduled talk about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So now she's just catching up. That's why I have the earphones on the other side. So this is what we call, guys, multitasking. But anyway, again, we live stream from DZRJ 8:10 a.m. And you can also catch us in the TV Plus boxes channel in your area. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's RJ News PH. Okay, and also if you're gonna see CLC nicely, because you know what? Let's try to keep all the neck, especially with this election coming up. Everyone is just dividing everyone. Fake news here and there, trolling here and there. We don't need that anymore. The world is so wounded as it is. So if you're gonna comment only positively. All right. So anyway, how are you guys? What's up? COVID cases are going down, and that's really, really good. Okay, and it also makes sense that it's going down because that is the only way that we Pinoys get it. Kailangan munang matakot tayo, di ba? I think we all got scared that we spiked up to 30,000 cases, I think, or 20+ thousand cases in just a matter of days, di ba? So because we are raised in the culture of terror teachers and spanker parents, suddenly, di ba, we found ourselves really voluntarily even volunteering for social distancing, di ba? So, but you know what? The fact that it went down after we got scared, diba? Scared of it, it means that COVID is really about behavior. So we went on alert level 3 or 4 and minimized social exposures, and then the cases went down from 30 or 20,000 to 3,000 today. Of course, we're still going for the zero COVID permanently. Okay, and you know what? This is the only thing that I'm commending China for, right? The fact that they have a hashtag zero COVID, I think, policy. And what I like about that is, what I like about that is because it's very vision oriented, and I think that is what we lack here. And a vision leadership is really about vision. Strong leadership is about being able to communicate also the vision. O, diba? I've been talking about zero COVID here for the longest time, and now China, maybe somewhere there I have Chinese origins, or I'm a my former past life was I was Chinese 10 times over. the we kind of get each other on that aspect. But anyway, I so anyway, for those who are still outsmarting COVID to this day, if you and your family hasn't gotten COVID, kudos to you, right, for keeping you and your family and your community safe and healthy. Okay, I, on the other hand, since I live in a condo, I'm already thinking of changing my name to Rapunzel, because you know what, it's like in the tower. I haven't really gone down so much since Omicron hit like wildfire, diba? Last January. So I didn't go down. It was only my husband who was running errands for us. And you know what? Since he's also free now, diba? It's also sort of like the short trips to the or the short trip to the bank. It's just also of distressing. So, but it's very calculated as well, diba? But anyway, so yun na. So it's maybe by next week you will call me DJ Rap, short for Rapunzel. But it's hard. The variants keep mutating, and it's the infection is just wildly increasing, and there's just no way that we are able to stop it from mutating. It will always find a host kasi. But then because of that, it's just really a friend of mine who's a doctor said that it's just going to be a matter of time before we all get it. And I'm really hoping that that doesn't happen. Okay, so for one thing, for me, we haven't gotten our booster shots, and we're trying to schedule one. We were supposed to, well, there were two schedules. I could have had one today and or tomorrow. Kaya we have a friend of ours ordered food. We had food orders, so unahin ko muna yon, because you know, if I take Moderna, I think it's going to be Moderna shots, and I've heard from so many that it's so strong that you end up really that one of the side effects is that you're kind of down for a day or two. So I just can't risk it, you know, for my friend, because we already committed. So but the next weekend onwards, we can schedule all the boosters that we want. So anyway, for all of you who hasn't gotten COVID, keep it up. Right, keep outsmarting it. Your behavior and your discipline and your habit are keys to being safe for a longer period of time from COVID, or permanently. Diba? That's even better. Right. So anyway, I hope really all is well at your end. The week of Valentine's, that it is coming. So in fact, it's this Monday. And I'm just wondering, are you guys preparing for it? Okay. So both husbands and wife, or girlfriend and boyfriends, even kids to their parents and parents to their kids, should be preparing for it. Okay. But you know what? One reminder, please don't get preggers. All right. Now is not the time to get pregnant, especially if it's out of wedlock or if you are young. Okay, you have to think money, 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 money. Love alone, guys, will not feed your baby or your children or your family. If you are still not earning 100,000+ a month, forget it. Okay. In fact, just recently, an article in Philippine Star that they published was about 1.3 million a year income can make a Pinoy happy, and that's true. I'm just and finally, it's catching on. That finally we're talking about it, diba? It's we're talking about it. We're not talking about mamaluktot sa kumot, but again, diba? If we are penniless, savingless, futureless, save the baby till you are making at least, as I said, that 100K per month. Okay, better if both of you and your partners is making that amount each, diba? So before we lose it altogether, in the name of love, save the baby this Valentine's Day. So i-hashtag na yan. Hashtag save the baby this Valentine's Day. All right. In other words, guys, don't get preggers. Hashtag think money. All right. Seriously, diba? We can be romantic and still be safe, thoughtful, and smart. Okay. My mom used to say that ang pag-aanak ay para sa mayaman lang. It may sound offensive to you, pero true. How many, those who are not able to afford having a family, ang nagsasuffer talaga children. Diba? They're not able, the parents are not able to send them to a very good school, and then habang dumadami yung mga anak din, lalong nawawala ng, parang nai-installment din yung para sa kinabukasan ng unang anak. Okay, so parang ganun lang. Do the math, guys. All right. I'm not against having a big family. I'm against I'm against having a baby when we can't afford it. Galing na ako dun, guys. It's really so expensive, super expensive. And if you're a very thoughtful parent, tawag dito, you will it will be also very stressful because as a thoughtful parent will always give the best to their children. And that's what happened to us. So I'm just giving you 2 cents worth of our own experience. So this Valentine's Day, put your heart here, okay? Not in here or not here. All right. So anyway, Valentine's is just about, well, from now, it's about 1.5 days away from midnight tomorrow. Okay. So there are a couple of thoughtful ways that we can actually celebrate it lovingly with our partners, diba? And our boyfriend and girlfriend in the safest way, huh? Let me just stress that. So I think time and effort, for me, I think time and effort are the most important languages of love when celebrating Valentine's Day. So it doesn't have to be expensive, okay? So what you guys can do is make simple, meaningful, thoughtful gestures that works up towards Valentine's Day. So let's say you really want to make it meaningful, tas wala ka namang budget, diba? Little gestures every 3 days, or like my husband kahapon, without really him planning it, but it's really in hindsight lang for me. Last night he turned in early to bed. He came from his man cave. I call it the man cave. He came from his man cave, and then I was wondering why he usually comes later because he watches there, listens to his music there, plays guitar there. And I asked, "Oh, Himala, you're sleeping early." Because he said, but I miss you. Oh, that's the first, diba? So there. And this morning we had later I'll kukwento ko. So parang we had little gestures, we bonded together, and it's not even Valentine's Day. So we plan to just make little gestures all the way till Valentine's Day itself. So you can do that. For example, what you can do is breakfast in bed tomorrow and a nice dinner on Monday, right? You can eat your simple favorite food. Kahit tuyo yan, guys. And lagay nyo sa pasta, gawin yung pasta, di ba? Save the tuyo and the sinangag for another day, di ba? So yung tuyo, you can social that up and turn it into tuyo pasta and for your Valentine's Day, and that's Valentine's Day, and that's even if that's on a budget, di ba? Even if that is on a budget, it's still I don't think I can do that. Even if it's on a budget, it's still we still put time and effort, and time and effort is always equals to love. Okay, so if your partners, what else? Ako, guys, diba? Even chocolate, diba? That's very simple. Although it's kind of expensive now, I think it's about 50 plus. But if your partners love those, diba? Those little things, you don't really have to buy all the expensive chocolates. Although Cadbury is surprisingly becoming more affordable. I mean, compared to the prices before. Okay, so those little things you can see that your partners don't expect those surprises. That's what makes it meaningful. You planning it, even if it's a chocolate or showa or anything like that, or gold coins, chocolate gold coins. But if it's a surprise, wow, if it's it was thought of, planned, pinaglaanan ng time, effort. That gesture is going to be well appreciated. Okay? So if your husband naman or your partner is lasinggero, wag niyo namang bigyan ng tanduay. Please. Anyway, or ng lapad or something like that. What do you call that? But anyway, I'm sure you get the idea. Okay? I would go for Malos if that's one suggestion that if that's one of the favorite, diba, of your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Okay, another one that you can do is watch Netflix together, not the Netflix and chill colloquial interpretation. Just so watch Netflix or a movie that you can find online, diba? You can put potato chips, popcorn is really cheap, or maybe nilagang mais or potato fries. You can sweet potato fries. You can do that, diba? The most, as I said, the most important thing here is a thoughtfulness, and thoughtfulness means you are making time and you are making effort, and in the most unexpected and the most affectionate manner. Diba? Even if it's very simple, the heart will always recognize genuine thoughtfulness and sincere love, and that is all that matters. Okay, so as for me, I'm really I'm enjoying my pre-Valentine, incidental pre-Valentine na ginawa na namin plan. It started on a good step, di ba? My husband was told me that he misses me. I mean, when you're married, this doesn't happen anymore. Right? And he was just in the other room. And that's really, and buti na lang, later on I will tell you that why it doesn't really matter to me whether he misses me or not, right? Or he says I love you to me or not. I explain to him later. But as for me, my hubby came in from his man cave earlier than usual, and telling me that he misses me. Tapos tawa lang siya. And then this morning, as I said, we had breakfast in bed, and we also shared an Adam Sandler movie. When he said, I'm going to make breakfast, I said, okay. So I already looked for a movie that we can share together. So we shared two movies, actually. One, Ride Along, two, which was also funny, and Bulletproof. It starred Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans. So we were able to share the whole morning together before kaming nagkanya-kanya. He went back to his man cave. I think I washed the dishes, and then I started working on the episode today. Okay. So the thing is, what's good about it is we haven't really spent anything expensive or spent serious money, except that I told him, please buy me a robot. Yes, guys. Naaliw ako sa mga robot ngayon. So anyway, so because it's love, diba? Here is my relationship public service announcement. So in a nutshell, you want to be in a healthy, happy relationship, but sometimes, right, we find ourselves in relationships sent from hell. So here are the 3 relationship abuses to avoid, guys. Okay, so we probably have talked about this and we probably read about this, but it's nice to be reminded because we still find. In fact, there was a dramatic increase in domestic violence, diba? But anyway, so it's good to be reminded and to educate ourselves and to find answers to our situation in case you are here, diba? So some are these 3 are pretty straightforward, and but still I will take the liberty to define each one succinctly or shortly. Okay, so of course, guys, physical abuse, of course, guys, this is basic. You have to avoid being in a relationship with someone who physically harms you when they are emotionally short or unstable or, stressed or problematic. Because you know what? Because contrary to belief, this can, the thing is, you think it happens also to women. Now, there are also cases where men come out and tell them that they are also being physically abused by their wives. How can that happen? We're so frail. But anyway, the thing is, The thing is, unfortunately lang, maybe because mas na-highlight ang women, because most women of physical abuse are women. So ladies or gents who are in the situation, don't even think that it is love why you get hit repeatedly. So be smart. If you're in this relationship, my God, think of a way out, okay? The other one, on the other hand, is verbal abuse. So when your partner uses words, even without any triggers, to demean, control, lay a guilt trip on you, or gaslight you, even gaslight meaning manipulate you to cause you to doubt yourself. Okay, that's verbal abuse. It also includes being cussed or pag minumura kayo, or calling you names, especially below the belt names. Okay. Yun. So these are just some of the characteristics of verbal abuse. Basta pagka words na yung ginagamit to hurt you. Then third is the emotional abuse. Ito naman is when one person is controlling and exercising power, control in the relationship. Okay? Parang it's like sleeping with the enemy. Ayan. So if you ask me, this also includes threatening the partner even for the smallest thing in things. In this type of abuse, restriction is also a very parang main characteristic. Nililimit kayo kasi nga kinokontrol. Okay? So I remember one time, this husband who threatened his wife, hell, if she started our business, because we presented our business to her and she liked it and she was gonna start it, pero she had to ask her husband. Her husband really threatened her. Diba? I wanted to beat that person up, sa totoo lang. Diba? Not because I lost a client, but more so because of the way he conducted himself, or rather lorded his position over his wife. That one is emotional abuse. Okay? Buti sana kung, diba, this guy was Steve Jobs level or Bill Gates or Elon Musk, OFW din naman. Diba, like my husband, sana naman humble. Buti sana kung, diba, parang Henry C level, hindi naman. Sila Henry C nga sobrang but anyway, kapal talaga. Sa akin, sobrang kadiri yun. So I still cringe just thinking about that person. Sobrang ibang klase. But anyway, if you think that you are going through any of these, diba? If you are being if you find yourself in abusive relationships, you can Google some of the diba, parang the signs and symptoms, so that you can educate yourself somehow, and also consult counselors so you can have a healthy and professional assessment of your situation, and also get proper guidance too. Bottom line is, the decision on the relationship must be healthy, period. Diba? So for all you know, the partner just needs counseling, diba, or healing. That, all right? So anyway, now, syempre, what is love without the kilig and romance? This doesn't have anything to do with me, okay? But recently, it's been all over the news. Yoon Bin and Son Ye Jin crash landing on new lovey-doveys, announced publicly that they are already tying the knot. So as a Caribou, someone who loves everything Korean, and that's me, I am so psyched and excited for the couple. But you know what? I will just, even if super, super crush ko si Yoonbin, I will just love in a distance. Or through Son Ye Jin, I will live vicariously. I promise that is already enough for me. I will be just legal tingin. Diba? Pasang kamay sa mga fans ni Yoonbin. But you know what? I love them also as a couple. Diba? They're such a perfect pair, beautiful couple, super bagay. But I don't know, before they publicly announced that they were together, I already got the hint that they were in a secret relationship. Kasi I was watching this interview, I forgot the name of that YouTube show. When I was watching that interview during the run of Chloe in Netflix, Son Ye Jin's eyes were, as they say, pancha, or twinkling, in thinking in a different way. So anyway, so cute. O ayan. O diba? Kinain na daw talaga ako ng K-drama kasi I now can absorb words, understand words, use words. Diba? Anyway, but seriously, special shout out, diba, to Yoonbin and Son Ye Jin. Congratulations on your engagement. You both are on the right track of love. So keep it up, work it out, and stay in love forever. So we will always be pancha with you. Okay. So I'm so happy that I have the show because I have somehow the same media platform, right? Make our communication channels to send out messages to my idols. So maybe next time lahat ng idol ko, I will say hello to them dito. Ako na lang ang you know what? That's one sign of being happy. You can make yourself laugh. Alright? So, patawarin nyo na ako. Pagbigyan nyo na ako if I am sharing my joy with you sa Yun Bin Sonny Jin love tandem or love team up. Ito nagkatotoo, di ba, nakakakilig. Anyway, so speaking of shout out, it's my mom's memorial this week. So mom, we are celebrating you. Diba? I know you can hear this. This is my heavenly message to you. We are preparing some of your favorites and we are getting together in Zoom nga lang. I'm sure from up there you can understand what's going on here as far as pandemic is concerned. But we love you and we miss you. And every year it gets harder and harder inside to live by without you. But I miss you even more each time. And it's so hard because I can't tell you. So you truly are the light and love of our family. So guide us and protect us always. And likewise, prayers of love and light to you all the time. So anyway, now it's convo time. Okay. Of course, our subject is still on love because Valentine's is on Monday and the whole month of February should be about love, 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 love. Okay. So this is not about icky love anyway. So this is about this is about healthy love. All right. Healthy love and healthy relationship. Okay. So we have about 3 weeks on this topic. Kasi love is so complex and so intertwined with our lives. There's so many facets or areas to cover. And for me, because I am a fan of healthy, happy love and relationship, I would like nothing more but for you to also lay a brick that cements your healthy that cements a healthy, happy relationship for you as well. Okay? Hindi lang dapat ako. Hindi lang konti dapat yung may magandang relationship. Dapat lahat tayo. So today, guys, I will be sharing with you my take on happy, healthy relationship from my viewpoint, diba? These are sort of like my own, my take from my own life experience, marriage experience, lessons and journey. Okay, you know, and one of the things that in hindsight, no, so parang you really have to be smart, diba? If you at least one of you have to be smart when you are in a relationship, meaning emotionally smart, cognitively mature and healthy and wise. So kasi para you will have healthy lessons that you can apply because you're lucky if both of you are both mature, right, and healthy. But if both of you are not, that's it talaga. Anyway, so these take, right, are sort of like my do's and don'ts that I live by as much as I can. Why do I say as much as I can? Kasi sometimes I also set my foot down, diba, and fight back. Pero that's categorically speaking and not fight as in like away. I exercise, dapat siguro sinama kayo, no? I exercise utmost restraint every day. But anyway, so this is genderless. So it can be applied by anyone, basta for as long as you are in a relationship. So this one, it's genderless because it emphasizes more on respect and a semblance of healthy individuation. So meaning, diba, we are so used to, sorry, am I scratching? We're so used to thinking that we're so used to thinking that once we are married, diba, or even in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, that we become one, diba? And that's where the sort of like the problem happens. Kasi that belief can also be a killer of relationships. Because being one means every decision is that you agree on 100%. So hindi naman ganun because each of you will have values, will have different experiences, diba? Will have different lessons in life and upbringing, diba? And different will be coming from different family cultures. So there's it's never 100% yes between the two of you. One will always have more parang what do you call that? More muscle or vote, uh, vote capability, 'di ba? And what decision or choice will you take for that moment? Okay, so yun. But anyway, so one of the tenets that I believe in, guys, so that's individual. So that's why I also recognize individuation. All right. So anyway, one of the tenets that I believe in is that we must not lose our identities kasi when we get married or even when you were just starting into relationship. For this is principle number one. So we often hear partners or spouses saying, "I will ask my wife" or "I will ask my husband." Though while that is true, 'di ba, to a certain extent or for big ticket items, for big decision making or life-threatening situation, it does not mean that the fact that we will have to act, 'di ba, being partners as maternal or paternal or matriarchal or patriarchal. Kasi ganun yung nangyayari. When we say, I'm gonna ask my wife, I'm gonna ask my husband, parang, ano ba, parang we didn't marry naman our parents, 'di ba, our mother or our father. So why is it that parang a certain everything nawawalan ng decision-making capability. Parang expected na both will bend to each other. Anyway, so I don't understand, yun nga, di ba, why we have to ask permission to pursue interests, hobbies, passion, dreams, or even simple joys. Okay? As partners, this is what I believe in. We have no business limiting the other person's personal growth and healthy happiness. Okay? So, sometimes, ito, example, sometimes, and my hubby is so used to asking me, siguro dahil probably thinks I'm a stronger personality and he thinks that I will always disagree. Or I disagree, he always thinks that it's a permanent disagreement. He doesn't see it's part of a conversation or maybe part of a tete-a-tete or an exchange between us, diba? So, nasanay siya that he will always ask me whenever he wants to buy something. Then me now, especially, I just let him, or I even egg him to get it, even if it's, let's say, a 50,000 guitar. Kasi naman, pinaghirapan naman niya. He really saved up for it. And pag na-save na niya, ayaw naman ng gastusin, right? So, I always just let him or egg him on. Because if he was, for me, I always go back to the point na if he were single anyway, he will make that decision towards getting that guitar. Diba? So bakit nung nag-asawa siya, yung joys niya naka-curtail. Okay? So if you say, you can say to me that kasi finances, yun na nga, 'di ba? Why are you both poor? So you have to ask that. Diba? Why is it that money is defining your situation? Shouldn't you be working together or even together towards increasing your financial buffer so that you can both enjoy life as a couple rather than dahil doon nililimit kayo. So anyway, again, going back, di ba? So assuming that all things being equal, wala kang problem sa finances, I am against any partner, right? I just don't believe rather against any partner limiting the personal growth and healthy happiness of each one. Okay. So anyway, if so going back to that, going example, that if let's say my husband wanted to save up and for this guitar and asks permission from me if he could buy it, as I said, I egg him on for the simple reason that if he were single, he would go on and buy it anyway. So it's the same for us, and I'm stressing that because it's also the same for us women. Our partners must also be it must also be clear to our partners that our growths are equally important. Okay? So lalo na if the partner is ambitionless, 'di ba? Kung hindi niya nakikita that he must have a drive or strive for let's say a better life, 'di ba? Or a better financial standing. Kasi maraming okay na sa ganyang sitwasyon. But if let's say it's the wife, like that nga, the one that I was telling you, 'di ba? The wife wanted to do the business pero free natin, ang kapal. But anyway, the husband must also recognize that and must support that. And I'm very lucky also because my husband has supported me every step of the way, even in our business now, right? Siguro nakita din, no, una, maganda talaga yung company namin and the opportunity that we have here. We earn in dollars, we get to travel, diba? We earn in dollars every week, diba? You can choose whatever income that you like and work on that, diba? Hindi siya easy money, guys, ha? But the thing is, una-una, I've proven myself na bawi ko na naman yung capital within 2 months. So, madali, diba? So, on top of that, is, aside from he knows na maganda siya, nakikinabang din naman siya. So, though I get to tell him even if he doesn't want to listen about how to be part of the business. But the thing is, the support is there. He's never told me to stop. So whatever it is that I need for the business, he just lets me make the decision. Me naman, on the other hand, also, I also, let's say I have to make also a strategic decision for our business. I also consult him. Diba? Hindi naman porke hinahayaan ako ng husband ko that I just do I just leave him out of the decision making. I still ask, I still tell him and ask him, especially when I'm not so sure, out of respect for him. Pero again, it's not because I will let I'm parang I will I need him to make it's not because he will parang stop me, diba? So same. So but anyway, so yun nga, 'di ba? If for us women, and if you're a man listening and you have a wife who has more ambition than you, more drive than you have to recognize that and support that. Now, itong part ng individuation na to, okay? There is a problem only. Okay, itong individuation na to, it also goes with the Friday night outs, di ba? Night out with the boys, ng mga husband and partner natin, or night out with the girls, nating mga women, di ba? Pero ang rule of thumb dito, of course, no hanky-panky or stupidities, di ba? Just clean front with friends. Because if you cross the line, there is no undoing that. Trust is the worst thing that we can break. Part of also respecting the parang individuation means that you don't cross the line. Diba? You can enjoy every simple joy and your interest and your hobby and your passion, except the part that can break your relationship and break your partner's your partner emotionally and spiritually and mentally, diba? That's a whole different. So principle number 1 is you have to make sure, guys, that you allow each other, diba? That there's no need for permission or allow each other to pursue interest, hobbies, passion, dreams, or simple joys. Okay? Kung hindi naman costly, di ba? Kung hindi naman costly or anything like that, parang it's just out of dumb fear, di ba, and assumptions, why you're just your tendencies to control, and learn, di ba? Learn to deal with the individuality of your partner. All right? So that yun, that's very, very important. Ngayon, mas sinasanay ko yung sarili ko to see, okay, this is my husband. He's a totally different person from me, so his interest is different. Diba? So, sometimes nagiging parang ako matriarchal based on how I had been earlier in my marriage. Kasi yun yung turo sa akin, diba? Yun yung kinagisnan ko. But in the more recent years, I have been more, no, your individuality is very important. Go to your man cave, do whatever you like. Diba? Yeah. So anyway, principle number 2, don't be so clingy or needy, diba? Romance dissipates. Accept that. Don't interpret it though as love lost, okay? As relationship and as we both mature, diba? The man and the woman in the relationship, so does the expression of love. It changes, diba? My hubby used to write me letters every single day. I also used to write every single day. Also, sinasagot ko yung love letters. Magkasama na kami, araw-araw may love letter pa. Diba? But through the years, of course, nawala yun because got replaced with child rearing, helping each other raise the child, getting up in the evening, washing, washing, baby feeding bottles, doing the laundry, yung mga ganon, diba? Napalit yung language of love na yun. So that language of love became on the more practical side, diba? On the helpful being helpful side. So yung naging language of love namin. So became instead of love letters, napunta ngayon sa mga household, child rearing, napunta rin sa generosity and sacrifices like being a breadwinner, 'di ba? Even if my husband wants to complain for the longest time, 'di ba? Of being the only sole breadwinner and sacrificing so much na parang wala siyang me time, he's still at it today, even when we are already doing the business. Diba? Kasi he doesn't want to find us parang pupulutin na lang kami sa kalye. So sa kanya, hanggat we don't have that financial wellness, he will still go on and keep working. Diba? So as a person, diba, so I as a person also, or the typical female who loves love, I had to also smart up and so that neediness, 'di ba? Kasi ako parang before I used to interpret na parang pag hindi ako sinabi ng I love you or whatever, feeling ko may nagbago na. And I think that's a natural normal tendency for women because we're basically emotional individuals, right? So anyway, I had to smart up so that neediness does not become a deal breaker, 'di ba? Sometimes now, 'di ba, especially I would chide my hubby, 'di ba? And I would tell him, I would ask him to tell me, say I love you to me 10 times or 12 times. And if he does that, he's off the hook for the rest of the year. So parang it's like one I love you, one I love you for every month of the year, 'di ba? So in fact, ngayon bago ko naman natin sa kanya, tell me I'm beautiful 10 times. Kasi sa mga babae, sometimes it's very important to be to be is that praised or be affirmed, ayun, o diba? So kagabi, parang that just rolled out of my tongue. So sabi niya, you're beautiful. Tawa na lang ako. Hanggang lang na sinabi. Pero the point is, yun nga, because there's no we have to recognize new patterns of love language so we can appreciate more our partners, diba? We cannot be defined by the lack of by the lack of the old language, diba? Old love language, diba? Let's say mga sweet things or mga pasalubong or what, because we do mature, diba? We cannot, diba? So the romantic though the romantic stage ends, something else. It gets replaced by something else, something more meaningful that makes us parang that also solidifies in the relationship and bonds you two together, diba? Now, if our partners are still what do you call this? Our partners are still romantic, that is already a bonus. So if you ask me, is my husband romantic? So the only time that he gave me a surprise was when he bought me, I think it was my birthday. I wanted this insulated cup for a coffee cup, right? Insulated. I didn't know he bought it. Then when it was my birthday, he just came into the room and he was so excited kasi it arrived from Lazada, and they said, open it. And but I don't anymore equate that just because he doesn't buy me pasalubong like the way he used to, that he doesn't love me. Now, diba, my version of smarting up is I just go up to him and say, I want to order Grab food. So I just surprise him by telling him I want to order Grab food. And his version of love language is he just goes, okay. At siya yung bumibili, diba, nung early stages of the relationship. Diba naman ng mga boys? Diba? So now, diba, since there's Grab food or Food Panda, you can just go up to your love and say, diba, pag nawala yung pasalubong, ikaw na yung parang just, it's app-based love language now. So sweet. But the point is, principle number 2 is that don't be so clingy or needy, diba? Recognize the love language, the new love language that has replaced the old ones. And if the old ones still exist for the longest time, or to this day, if you've been married like me for 29 years and it still exists, that's a bonus already, diba? So that's one way to appreciate. Sobrang saya kaya nun that that you're not needy, diba? That you're not defined by that. Kasi for me, my husband is he tends to be what they call this, masungit, diba? If you are needy or clingy, kasi that means diba, there's a sense of insecurity sa'yo, that that imperfection of your husband, that imperfection of my husband can be, or if you have a husband na ganon, you'll interpret it as not being loved, and that's, diba, that can be one, most likely a false assumption, diba? Especially if you have a good husband or a good wife, or it can be a false assumption, and then false assumption can lead to away, diba? And you know how away snowballs, diba? When an away snowballs because the, what you call, hindi masatisfy ka emotionally, diba? Mas it becomes the gravitas, diba, of the wounds during that away makes it worse pa. So you're worse off than when you just you're worse off than when you had that when you started with that false accusation. So ayan. Now, principle number 3, how do we become not needy? Or this one, okay? So very important. We have to heal and grow ourselves emotionally so we can be a healthy person for us, and a healthy person for our partners. Our partners kasi will always fall short of our expectation. All right? Our expectations, plural. And if you don't have our bearings, diba? If you don't have a grip of it, it can always lead us to miscommunications or fights. Okay? Our baggage, our emotional woundedness, that we bring that into the relationship. Diba? We don't outgrow it until we decide to cut it, to cut our umbilical cord there from those emotional baggage that bit natin since childhood. Okay. So this is what I remember that my sister said once, diba? She said something like, as it is, diba? We are all, each one of us is full of baggages, diba? We are all wounded inside. Then imagine, diba? Two wounded person getting into a marriage, getting married, diba? And the fact that we don't have grip on our own baggage, what more when we have to also handle the baggage of the other person. And what if that other person does not know also how to handle your baggage? Di patay na, di ba? So it is our duty to become the best or the healthiest person we can be for our partners and our family in general, di ba? So I think for me, no, if we can do that, right? That is truly, I think, the meaning of meaning and the meaning of what a wedding gift, or true meaning of a wedding vow, diba? Yeah, true meaning of the wedding vows, diba? Overcoming yourself so that you can be the best partner for your spouse, or for your partner. Okay. And this is also the best lifetime gift that we can give to one another. So how do I say this? You know what? Men and women are supposed to be wired differently, diba? Our emotionally wild men and women are emotionally wired differently, diba? They have a hard time understanding themselves emotionally and communicating that or expressing that. While women, oh my G, diba? We are so in tune to our every emotions, diba? Every feeling, and then each one of those feelings have different stories attached to them, and those stories are connected to all other emotion. So para na siyang ano ba tawag doon? One ball, yun, basta yun, convoluted bubble ball of emotions. Women are like that. And in my marriage, my husband is pretty much young in the relationship kasi I was his first girlfriend and also his last, diba? Ako, I'm strong, although I've never really, parang, I only had, ano ba, nine-love lang siguro ako once, yung todo, before my husband. Or maybe puppy love din yun, I don't know, diba? Pero yung that feeling, falling in love, that I've had boyfriends, diba? So, na kaya lang, yun, even if I had boyfriends, and hindi naman ako sa in love na in love, parang I had a handle on things, on how to make sure na walang away, di ba? Be more understanding. So when my husband and I got married, I knew that I will be the one taking the lead in making sure that there's peace between us, di ba? Between us. Kasi I assumed healthily, I guess, on that standpoint, that my husband might not also understand me. Kasi at that time, even if I had a handle on things, meron din naman akong certain insecurities, di ba? So anyway, tawag dito. But that decision, di ba, on my end, to take the mature role, di ba, and to work towards being wise, helped keep us together. We did have our terrible years together, diba? Siguro mga 2 years na really, really bad na out of the blue. Pero still, diba, the lead to catch it, diba? The lead to catch it. Although my husband really also tried to pull us together, but the lead to and the decision to catch it and to make it whole again, that capability was rested in me. I guess because of that decision, even then, diba, when I started in my marriage, that I probably am the more mature one, or the one who has more I guess more experience in relationships, diba, understanding in terms of being a communication, expression, patience, and all that. So it's still the way yung decision, and I still carry it on till today. Diba? I still do that today. And I'm really, the upside of that, because my husband nga tends to, paano ba, his sungit can be triggered by anything. Diba? Can be triggered by anything. And I have learned, because I took the parang more mature lead, I have lead that it has nothing to do with me. Diba? Kasi nothing, di ba, the triggers walang connection sa akin kung minsan eh. Di ba? Sobrang simple, parang nagtatanong lang ako ng ganito na simple, iba na, di ba, nakatangal na or like that, di ba? So, tawag dito. And ang my main example of that is I would literally parang count 10 days or sometimes even 20 days, di ba? That hindi ko siya papansinin. I will just ignore it. Dead ma. Kasi it has nothing to do with me emotionally. Walang connection yung whatever sungit triggers niya. But I would, on the 20th day or maybe on the 10th day, fight back. It's that tactical. Why? Because I need to get his attention so that we can, so that I can argue my cause. Diba? So through the years, ganun yung naging ano namin. I was patient, and I would make parang step up, diba? Mag-away kami, step up, and then siguro he sees the value of what I'm saying then. So through the years, my husband, you know what, even if it's masungit, it's more patient. And now it's even funnier because I've learned na yung sungit nga pala, it's a knee-jerk reaction, diba? So parang feeling ko gagaling lang sa memory ng prefrontal cortex niya. Like everybody else's, diba? So now I watch my prefrontal cortex conversation, kumbaga, with his prefrontal cortex, and then I see that sometimes I see many times that I also have knee-jerk reaction, diba? And may mga context yung mga knee-jerk reaction ko, at may mga context din na pinanggagalingan niyo sa kanya. So now because I understand that parang it's sort of like what they call that, parang dinosaur reptilian brain or lizard brain or dinosaur brain. I now get to actually pinipikon ko siya kung minsan. Kinukutya ng patawa, 'di ba? So but tawag dito, para makita niya yung humor, or don't take it seriously, or your brain is talking this way, your prefrontal cortex is reacting that way to me. So that he can also disrupt it and see for himself. So now, he's catching on, diba? He's catching on, and he's parang may sungit siya, but it's no longer acidic. It can be, parang yung acidic na parang hindi na, but thank you God, diba? He's become, siguro he got to release himself from it, being able to understand also why he has knee-jerk reactions like that. So, but it wouldn't have happened if I also did not from a long time ago decided that I will B, I will take the role of the wiser one and the mature one and the stronger one in case he's not yet there. So yun naman. So I'm in a way parang reaping. Kumbaga, we are both reaping the benefit of that decision. So even if my husband, although my husband is really is very sturdy, since super solid, so ibang klase naman siya. It's like super steadfast steadiness siya. Hindi talaga natitibag. So yun naman. So he may have he may not be he may be emotionally parang reactive, 'di ba? But there is a certain steadiness to even to weather the storm, and that's very 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 important. I'm not saying my husband is weak. Kaya lang yun nga yung character niya. Hindi lang niya hindi niya parang kaya, hindi wala siya nung brain wiring to know how his emotions work, 'di ba? So yun. So we're now both reaping the rewards of that, and each day, 'di ba? Each day I think there are, or most of the time there are happier times over the pick-on times, 'di ba? There are happier times. And because pala I also understand that sometimes it's just his lizard brain talking back, 'di ba? Or naging knee-jerk reaction. I know how to switch off, 'di ba? Kasi there are times also na I remember before, just a few months back, I would still simmer and sama ng loob eh. But now, as soon as he becomes like that and he enters my zone of piconness, 'di ba? I know how to shut it out right away, to leave it out para hindi ano. So I have my own techniques kasi nga I know that that reaction is not for me. It's just his dinosaur brain talking. Parang gano'n. You get what I'm saying? So yun. So very important that and okay, am I talking about communication? No, I'm talking about you have the decision that you have to keep healing and growing yourselves emotionally so you can be a healthy person for your partner and also for your relationship. All right? So um yun. So na 30 minutes talaga, it's not enough. There's more actually that I want to cover, 'di ba? Kumbaga I call them DJ Chin's Relationship Building Blocks 101, 'di ba? I have not yet covered forgiveness or effective communications. I've not yet covered roles and responsibilities, etc. Diba? There's just so much to share. But for today, I think those three principles are already a mouthful. Diba? And you may pick up on that and maybe, diba, apply and learn how you can make it your own. Kasi syempre, diba, that advice is from me and you will shape it so that it will adapt to you and the value or the values and culture of your relationship. Okay? Point is, real relationships or healthy relationships are all work, di ba? Do not expect to get it in the first 10 years kasi you are still growing every day. Every day or every year is always about progress and growth. So you have to remember parang roll up your sleeves, di ba? And have the right expectations, have the right emotional and mental tools in the name of love for a lifetime, 'di ba? Kasi super sulit naman, 'di ba? Having that, 'di ba, having the right expectations, having the right emotional and mental tools is the healthiest way to go, 'di ba? In having a very solid, very steady relationship. Okay? So anyway, my husband and I are very different from each other. Ito na, 'di ba? But in our fights, I get to share with him how I manage myself so that I don't become a BCH. Okay na magbasa niyan. Bawal kasi. And I ask him to help himself, 'di ba? Married for 29 years, the only thing that we worry about is being poor or being down on our luck. Grabe, mas yun ang nakakatrauma sa amin, 'di ba? Imagine kasi if we had that problem plus emotional baggages pa, 'di ba? I don't think we would make it this far. So guys, your goal is to have a very solid, bonded, loving relationship kasi sulit siya. All these are possible if you have the right method, diba? And is committed in growing a healthy relationship. All right? So next Saturday, guys, I'm gonna be talking about ano nga ba? Still on relationship. I'm thinking if I should choose between uh parang ambitions, 'di ba, in partnership, between partner, ambitions of each partner. So I don't know yet. I think I want, basta all I know is I want to take it on a practical approach, 'di ba? Yung real, yung what really is applicable or what really happens in a relationship. I want to take it from that point of view, not from a textbook point of view. All right. But anyway, that's a wrap for now. And this is TJ Chin saying good night and hope this episode was very helpful. Meanwhile, it's Valentine's on Monday. So happy Valentine's, okay? And have a very loving, happy Valentine's for everyone. So guys, good night and see you next week. Salamat. And I appreciate you. I appreciate that you tuned in tonight. Thank you.
The views and comments of the hosts and guests are not necessarily those of the station.